definitely want to say welcome to the family. Welcome to what we do every Monday night without fail, our Millionaire Mindset Call. We've been doing this for years, over a decade now. And I can just tell you right now, this type of format, guys, you should not sleep on it. This format has made millions of dollars for people globally. And I was a part of one for over 19 years, almost 20 years now. The first 10 years was with my leader, and we started doing our own 10 years ago when he took a different capacity in the company. But I can just tell you this is what really puts people in a position for them not just to make millions of dollars, but to become a millionaire. And like the late great Jim Rome always says, go out there and earn $1 million, because of the type of person that it'll make you, who you'll have to evolve into, who you'll have to grow into, right? And so the type of person that would attract and earn a 7-figure payday, okay, or more, that person has a lot of value to society. They put themselves in a position where they're extremely desired, extremely needed, and extremely valuable to society. And so this is where, again, you come every Monday night at 9:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, so you can increase your value to society. Therefore, they have to pay you more to match your financial thermostat. So with that being said, guys, foresight family, that word foresight is very, very important, guys. It means vision. And the book I read says people without vision shall perish. So I want to make sure you understand what wealth looks like before you wrap your arms around it and embrace it, okay? I want to make sure you guys know that our actual motto is that we know that you're rich before you do. And I believe that we are all born kings and queens, and we literally have to go out there and do, what we need to do to take our rightful seat at our throne. It's kind of like the rite of passage. You ever see that movie 300 where, he's taking his son through the fire, and they send him out into the cold. He comes back with the skin of the wolf that he had to slay, and that was Leonidas. And so you want to make sure, guys, that you bring your people here so they can learn. You bring your people here because, again, you're putting them in a position where they can get information for free that they would otherwise have to pay a ton of money for. Okay, so that being said, Project Pride is is on its way, producing residual income in a down economy. And then the last, but definitely not least, Project 10,000. Again, it's our goal over the next 2 years to help 10,000 people earn $5,000 a month in residual recurring income. And the best way to do that is to make sure that they don't have one stream of income, they have more than one vetted stream of income that's producing multiples. Okay. And so that, again, is who we are, guys. That's who we've been. That's who we're going to be. And we're not going to change our vision. We're not going to change our agenda. We're just going to get better at what we do. So with that, I want to pay the bills real quick and give you guys a couple of announcements real quick here. Make sure, again, have not, if you're those of you who have not booked your cabin yet, I know they have a couple more that's available right now for July 25th weekend, Cruising with the Beans. And so that information, it can be found on www.foresight-mg.com. So go and reserve your cabin. Also, I heard Forrest did an amazing job on Crash Camp on Saturday. Again, thank you, Forrest, for serving it. Y'all give Forrest some 4 or 5s, so show him some love for going out here and just literally volunteering. And so this is the thing, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, guys. Again, you are who you attract. And Carly's a servant leader. She's been serving us from day one. Okay. And Forrest, he's found his niche and he's made his groove in there, and he's, just killing the Crash Camp. Right. And then LaToya, who's another seed from that tree, is a host, for all of our speakers, when they need hosts. And so again, become who you want, your people to evolve into, guys. Yeah. And so I just want to put that nugget on you, just to start this conversation. You're leading whether you know it or not. Okay? You're setting the example whether you know it or not. You're the role model whether you know it or not. And so this is not one of those times where you get to be like Charles Barkley and say, I'm not a role model. You are definitely a role model. If you enroll somebody in a company like this and they're looking at you to help them amass a fortune or help them become wealthy, or help them fire a boss, they're counting on you and relying on you. So the least you can do is to make sure that you continue to make your best better. Okay, continue to make your best better. So, but be here every Monday night, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, and don't come alone. This is also a place, guys, for those of you who have people who are looking at what we have to offer them as far as businesses. And like Carla said, in our business model, again, it's the ancillary things, the other things, the bells and whistles that make people want to become a part of what you have to offer. Everybody has an opportunity, but everybody doesn't have a thriving community. Yeah, and so you have an ecosystem, guys, where we talked about this on Crash Camp 2 weeks ago. You can use everything that we have, to add value to whatever it is that we have to offer, whether it be the staking at 1.4% with SCF, or whether it be Dream Trips, or whether it be, Lance Green, some of our other platforms, or some of the platforms that we're going to announce that we're moving into. It don't matter. If a person understands that they can actually have access to, Grant Cardone indirectly, that's something that they don't have where they're at. They get a chance to look inside of their community and say, well, we don't have that. In the Millionaire Mindset call, if it's edified properly, they can look inside their community and say, you know what, we don't have that, right? And then, to have the whole entire portfolio of mobile weekend events. Again, there are 99% of the organizations and groups and things that are out there, guys, they don't have that. Okay? And so these are other things that you should be promoting to make sure that you can get people, not just to make a decision, but put them in a position where the decision that they make is not just validated, but it actually helps them get to their goal of getting their money back and getting it to profit faster. That's something that we should all want. That should be our very first goal, is to get a person their money back in their pocket and get them into profit. Okay. And so they can do that when they're equipped to. And so that's, again, why you should be here every Monday night. So when it comes to Standard Cross Financing, guys, you guys have seen the updates. And, for me, I'm not going to come on every time I see a news clip or every time I see somebody who puts some news out that may or may not be the right news. I'm going to be in a position where I'm going to hold tight, and I'm going to sit back and I'll make sure that the information that we put out is valid information, right? And I want you guys to understand that there's no such thing as a SCF emergency. Let me say that, right? So just know that information has to come out at some point in time, and it gives us an opportunity to go ahead and make a decision on what we want to do going forward. So tomorrow's the 31st, the 1st November is Wednesday. So they said that we should have some updates right after the 1st of the month. So I guess the first week of November. Hopefully they continue to push forward and get us that information right away. But what you should always be doing, guys, is make sure that you put yourself in a protected status. Make sure your accounts are always active. So if it's just you having $200, of FUSD pledged or what have you, just so your account could be good, and obviously it's making money at that time as well, do that. But don't have it unprotected. Don't have account with no volume on it, and it's just sitting there. Because again, what my wife found out the other day is that they were paying her. They were basically, she was leaving money on the table. Let me say that they wasn't paying her because it didn't make it to her wallet. So they was hitting her account and saying, hey, look, this is what you were earning every day. And next thing you know, boom, when she activated her account and she updated her account, rather, it started spitting out GM money. Yeah, and so a lot of you guys are also sitting on your money because the fact that they went into node mode, your daily is not what it used to be. So you're not interested in looking at it at this point in time. Guys, mine went from $4,000 a day to $350 a day. And I look at it every day, not the same way. You know what I'm saying? But I look at it every day, and long enough to transfer the money into my wallet, and then I move on. I don't put any emotion behind it. I don't put any attention toward it, because again, what holds your attention controls you. Okay? And if it holds it long enough, it'll grow. And if it ain't positive, if it's negative, it'll eat away at you. It'll eat away at your day, and it'll eat away at your opportunity. Not just this one, but any other opportunity that may be coming your way. So you got to learn how to make sure you control your emotions and turn it on and turn it off. But make sure always take care of your business, your own personal business. Hey, don't Don't allow the company to do it for you. Don't allow the leads to do it for you. Always put yourself in your position to where you take care of what you can control and what you're supposed to, and then give directions to your team. And whoever takes care of theirs, that's what they do. Whoever does it, that's what they do. They're independent investors, independent stakers, and independent shareholders. Let me say that. So if they don't do it, it's on them. Okay. But you've given them instructions, plus you've actually invited them to the platform where they're getting the information and the quality suggestions as well. So that's your job, guys. As a leader, that's your job. You're not obligated to do it, but morally, because again, you invited people here, you want to make sure you at least do what you're supposed to do, which is notifying. Okay. Now, I talked a little bit about diversification, and there's some things that you definitely, some bullet points as I was thinking about it. Diversification is the foundation to sanity for investors. And so you might want to write that down in your journal somewhere, but this is something that you'll be able to take with you for the rest of your life. Diversification is the foundation to the sanity of investors. Last week we talked about, companies making decisions, without our involvement, without our care, without it's basically because they were in a position to, and they were doing what was best for them or what was best for the company. And that's traditional, non-traditional. Okay. But as a portfolio holder, the worst thing you can ever have in your portfolio is just one company. And the worst thing you can ever do into your portfolio is just go through a whole lot of stuff in your portfolio. Okay, you have to vet it. Don't just try to diversify with anything just because you want to throw stuff up against the fan and see what sticks, and throw it up against the wall and see what sticks. I can't tell you how many companies I've looked at, how many videos I've watched, how many presentations I've sat through, and how many more I have slated to watch. But I'm pretty much at a point to where, I've been working with 𝐿𝐲𝐻 on some things, and we're looking at two that we'll probably be launching as soon as he gets back from the meeting in Dubai, right? So as soon as he gets back from the meeting in Dubai, we should be wrapping up everything, putting the bow on everything, and launching one, if not two. I know one that we are going to launch. I am going to build, and one I am going to launch that we are going to just set it and forget it, and we'll refer people, kind of like what we did with 𝐿 Green, and allow people to continue to, invest, or allow people to continue to diversify. But both of these platforms have been well vetted by 𝐿𝐲𝐻, and I've also got some second opinions on them as well, and those opinions were pretty high. And then once we had some people in the organization as well, some of our crypto people here in the group who did some really good work on it and came back with some really good information. I know Lakeland did a lot of deep diving and a lot of research on it, and he's come back with nothing but amazing stuff on one in particular. I know Dr. Rika, talked to her. She's watched the presentation multiple times. I've got her green eye on it, and she's excited about it for her own reasons as well. And so when you don't hear from us, guys, it's not a bad thing. Trust me, we're working. Is when you do hear from us, you just want to make sure that you're ready. Okay. But when it's time to diversify, guys, let's say when is it time to diversify? Always when it makes sense and makes profits. It's always the time to invest, guys. It's always the time to diversify when it makes sense and when it makes money. But this is the one thing you don't want to do to yourself. And a lot of people do this, especially people who are new to investing or new to these type of platforms. The one thing you don't want to do is say, you know what, wow, this is hot, what they're paying, and I'm going to put everything over here. Okay. And so you put yourself in a really bad place when you do that, and that's dangerous. Okay. That's an all-in mindset. And you're putting all your eggs in one basket emotionally and economically, and it's not smart, it's not sound. Plus, when you do that, you're putting all of your people's eggs in that basket as well, because what you do, you're teaching directly or indirectly. What you're endorsing, what you're excited about, that's the only thing you're talking about. Okay? And so that's what we want to make sure you don't do. You don't just say, you know what, I'm not going to put anything else in 𝐿 Green, I'm not going to put anything else in SCF, and I wouldn't put anything else in SCF. If I'm you, if I'm actually diversifying, I'll make my account active, but I'm not going to take everything that I got out of everything else and put it in another place. because it looks better or because it has a high percentage of return. We got to make sure we look less at the percentage of return and look more at, the substance of the company, the returns, the let's say the bones of it all, and so that's important. That's very, very important, because you can make money on anything, but you don't want to make money on everything, because all money is not good money. But you don't want to be in replacement mode. Learn how to diversify. We talked about the rules of engagement when you have different portfolios. You have your percentages. I might have 30% over here, 30% over here, 20% over here, 20% over here, and or 25, 25, and 25 all the way across the board, or 20, 20, 20, and 5 different ones, or a really nice size chunk, 40%, and then 15% on the other 4, right? But whatever it is, make sure you are diversifying your accounts. Make sure you're diversifying your portfolios. Other thing is this: don't put too much stock in how much you invest. Okay. Once you get in, once you get comfortable, once you see what's going on with these platforms, and you see how the returns work, and you've studied it, did a little bit of homework on it, not necessarily so you can go and present it or articulate it to people, just so you can have a good warm and fuzzy, for yourself, so when you go out and talk to people, you can actually have a little bit of confidence behind it. If you feel like you did need to move monies up, do that. If you feel like you want to stay pat, then do that. The one thing that I do understand is that I've always made way more money off the muscle than I did off the money. Okay. So there are a lot of people who put way more money in platforms than I did. And I made a lot more money than a lot of people because I put a lot more effort, energy, and everything else into it. My returns were exponentially greater, based on the fact that I was able to grow my crowd. Okay. And so grow my community and develop my community. And I want you guys to really, for those of you who are, and I'm not talking about to the investors right now, I'm talking specifically to the people who want to go out and build portfolios. Because, I was talking to Lakeland today, and he was just talking about how much more empowered he feels when it comes to, him being able to articulate things publicly, and, how good he feels about systems and being able to launch systems now and take people through the process and stuff like that. And that's the thing that you really want to master, guys. Again, one of the people who is probably one of the greatest at doing Joe Cohen when it comes to building structures and stuff like that. He's next to none. Nobody's on his level, because he does everything the same exact way. He builds everything the same exact way, and he's always done that. And he's done that through multiple companies, 4 companies straight. So again, you are what you do. Your validation comes from your resume and your results. And so you want to be the prototype, just like that, guys. Okay? So make sure, again, you put yourself in a position where you're not focusing on just one thing. That you're also getting ready to build something special if you are a builder. Let's see here. Oh, and I had a little nugget that I wrote on that. It says, since it's the only place that you have an investment or stake, it's the place that you'll focus on. If you're focusing on it, you're relying on it. If you're relying on it, you're betting on it. If you're betting on it, you're gambling. If you're gambling, you're directing all of your emotions toward that one egg that's in that one basket that you can lose. Okay. And so this should really, if you write that down and understand that, guys, go back and listen to this thing and really get that in your spirit. That'll help you, become, more of a strategist as opposed to a gambler or somebody who moves on emotion or moves with the crowd. Okay. The other thing is, I don't want you all to worry about the status of the accounts while SCF, is bringing everything current and introducing whatever they're going to introduce. For me, I'm not watching them. I'm not window watching. I'm not whatever it is. I'm not rubbernecking. I'm moving. I'm not leaving the company, but I am not focusing on something that's not moving right now. Okay. Remember, the most valuable thing that you have right now in your life is what, guys? That's right, time. Okay. And so what are you doing with your time that's making you money and adding value to you or your portfolio while everybody else is doing what they need to do with their time? Millionaires don't sit there and stay idle. Billionaires don't sit there and stay idle. They always have something going, even when they have things in play. Okay. And so they don't sit there, watch, wonder, worry, and put themselves in a bad situation, mentally and emotionally. Okay. Which is one of the things that I also want to talk to you guys about right now and forever. Put yourself in a position where you are protecting your mental health. Okay. And so your mental and emotional health is very, very important. Okay. Stress, again, remember, the stress is the number one reason people have heart attacks and strokes, right? And so you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're worrying about something that you cannot control, right? Put yourself in a position where you're finding something to do, whether it be, yoga, whether it be meditation, whether it be, working out. It don't matter. Like right now, I know me, I'm outside of me just doing what I'm supposed to do here in the portfolio for you guys. I'm real heavy on my Spanish right now. All the people who I follow and follow me, they see my numbers going up, and I'm just diving into that, putting 30 minutes to an hour into that every day. Helping me focus, helping me get distracted, on something that's good and that's something that's building me up. Also working out, riding my bike at the gym, whatever it is. And that's put me in a position where I'm not just, feeling better, or I'm looking better in my clothes, or I'm more confident. It's put me in a position where I get into my creative space. Okay. And I start thinking about what's next. I start thinking about what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, how we're going to move. I start thinking about different types of everything. And when it comes to us as a company, us as a group going forward. So I'm in my creative space. And so I'm not thinking about what the masses are thinking about. I'm thinking about, what I need to do that's in the best interest of the people who believe in me. And so you can't afford to be distracted. You can't afford, guys, to have an emotion, that sits there and stays with you, and at some point in time erodes everybody's opportunity that follows you. It's okay that you have an emotion, guys, toward it, because you're a human being, but it's not okay to keep it when you have people that are depending on you and relying on you. So mental health is very, very important. And it's one of those things that it's like a must. When you look at some of the things you must do that. Okay. Let's see here. Also, don't put yourself in a position where you got a lot of busy work. This is not the time where you can do a lot of busy work. Do everything that you like, your must list stuff that you do, shorten that list. Guys, right now, this is the time for you to shorten those lists. And this is what I got to do for my family, my household, my job. This is what I got to do, in class. This is what I got to do. Outside what I got to do, what do I have to do? What must I do? What do I need to do right now? What's the number one thing I need to do right now? Okay. And then what's the next thing that I need to do? And right now, you may have 2 to 4 things, okay, that you need to do outside of the things that you have to do in your job at home, but you gotta put yourself in a position where you make that list finite, and don't worry about leaving something off that's not of grave importance. The most important things are where you prioritize. Remember, this is where you start really getting the bang for your buck when it comes to your money coming from your time. Okay. Also, let's see here. Accomplishments and progress are great for mental health and confidence. Okay. Anytime you take a win, anytime you have some personal momentum, some team momentum, some growth, that's really good because now you have that joy, you have that happiness. Again, you are in a different space, a different headspace, and so you can't be angry and happy at the same exact time. You'll be conflicted. And some of you guys, you've experienced that when your wife made you mad, or some or husband made you mad, and all of a sudden they come and messing with you, start tickling you, whatever it is, and you start laughing and growling at the same time. You're conflicted. So when you actually are doing something that makes you happy, you're doing something that, again, gives you a sense of pride and helps you boost your self-esteem, and it puts you in that position. Now that's momentum that you build on top of. But talked about exercise, doing that. Also, when it comes to, let's see here, intentionally distracting yourself, but again, just being present, when you're working out, or being present when you're working on. Let me say that, being present when you're working on. Personal development time is very, very important. So if I'm you, I am finding a way to either map out a time, carve out a time that I can literally personally develop myself, or if you somebody like me, I'm not going to keep a time every day. I'll just do it on the run. I'll find a way to where I personally develop myself while I'm riding my bike, while I'm riding around in the car, while I'm walking on a treadmill. It don't matter. I'm gonna find a way to do it, but it's going to get done. Because this is the time right now where you have to fill your head, fill your space up here with more positive stuff, more things that help you, not cope, help you evolve beyond it, help you grow beyond it. And the more you get that in your spirit, the more you actually learn from it, the more you can actually pass on and help people who need it. And that's the thing about leadership, again, helping people out of dark places. Okay? Let's see here. Don't be a slave to your fears. Don't be a slave to your fears. Okay? Give me 1 second here. All right. Kim got the fireplace going on in there. It's kind of warm. I got to turn that fan on. Okay, but don't be a slave to your fears, right? And so the things that are worth fighting for, guys, are the most terrifying of all. Okay. Again, every time you have to make a decision, that's a decision towards something that's going to create legacy wealth, something that's going to retire you, fire boss, whatever it is. That decision that you're going to have to make, the thing that you're going to have to sacrifice, the thing that you're going to have to give up, is going to terrify you. And it's going to put you in a position where it may terrify you so much that you go into self-preservation mode. Well, I don't know if I should use this money for this. And I don't know if I should invest this money for that. Or I don't know if I should take all my time and start investing it over here, or my resources people-wise and start inviting them over here. Again, do your vetting, or trust the vetters, and then do your job. Because again, when you're sitting there thinking about it and you're letting your fear override your faith, what's happening is this: the people who are ambitious and people who do believe, people who are courageous, people who are informed and empowered on those matters in the same platform that you're at, while you're trying to save money, the money that you're trying to save, they're out there living on, having a good time with. It's not even their real money. They're out there making big money, doing their thing, and not because they're better than you. It's just they moved before you did. First mover's advantage. I don't have to go out there and recruit the world. I can go out there and recruit 2 or 3 people a week and still make more money than most people. And it's not because I'm better than they are. It's just because they decided not to move yet. Okay, so if I'm not in the platform, I'm in a platform with you. Let's see here, Ivan. If I'm in a platform with you and you sponsored me, or let's just say we're in different lines, but I don't do anything, and you do everything. You go to GM right away. You're getting $150 a day. You're making more money than me, even though I may have more experience than you. And life doesn't reward experience; it rewards, people who get the results. Okay, so don't sit on your fears, guys. Move your fears around, get rid of them right away, shake it off, whatever it is. You have to take the life lessons from the last class so that you can actually pass the next one, guys. And that's how I see it. I learned from every platform that we've been on, and I've been on purpose with that. I'm always journaling, and you should too. You should know, like, okay, so what were some of the signs, in this platform? What were some of the things that I saw on that platform? What do I see in this company that we're looking at that makes the company legit, or something that makes it look like something I should run from? And so you should have all your experiences in your journals and continuing to develop your journals and new journals over time, to where you can actually give a master class, or anybody in your family can come pick that journal up one day and you leave it to somebody in your will saying, hey, this is a blueprint to wealth. Okay. And they can take that journal, and they can do everything that you did, follow all the steps that you followed, and boom, go out there and make a flat out fortune. And because you are so meticulous with your notes. Okay. But you definitely have to make sure you learn from each lesson, guys. Those life lessons are master classes, and you pay a lot of money for them. Okay. But while you're playing it safe, again, the ambitious and visionaries are playing around with the money that you're trying to save. Education and application kills fear and trepidation, right? When you look at action is the biggest enemy to fear. Okay, but you won't take action unless you're educated. You won't take action unless you let educate. Like I'll get a video and I'll watch a video several times. I don't want to watch it just to see if I want to enroll. I want to watch it so I can know why I'm enrolling. I want to watch it so I can get a really good understanding on what this company is about, what I'm about to introduce to other people, how is it going to give me my returns, and what am I basing that off of based on what they are saying. And I'm looking at this thing, from a fine-tooth comb. I'm looking at it from a whole entirely different perspective than the average individual. And none of you guys are average, so don't behave that way. This is where you step up and really bring your A game. Remember, we have thousands of people, guys, globally in the Foresight Business Academy. Okay, but all the volume that we generate, guys, remember, you see on average when we launch something, maybe 100 people are on a call per week, right? And so that's a small fraction of the entire, group, but everybody in the group is making money, right? But the people who are here on these calls, people who are growing from these calls and interactions, they're making the most. And it's because they're making the biggest impacts. They're making the most impacts. They have the biggest groups, the most thriving groups. They have the best developed groups. And that's what you want. There's always going to be a handful of people, guys. Okay? It's always going to be a handful of people. So when you see people missing, don't worry about them. Okay, remember, they're independents. They have the ability to come in and invest only, and they have the ability to come in and build if they want to, or a combination of both. That's none of your business. Okay. When you're looking for people who are missing and it means something to you, it's hurting your feelings, or you and your feelings about it because they're not on the calls, on Millionaire Mindset calls, they're not in GC. Now, if they're not in GC and I turned around and I gave them a free position, then yeah, that's something I'm gonna think about if I'm gonna replace that person. But if it's something that they are doing that's affecting their income and they're making that choice to do it on their own, I'm gonna live with it because it's their decision. When you can't live with it, it's because you feel like you need them and you had already counted the money that you were going to make from them. That's why it means so much to you. You'll say, well, I want them to win, but anger doesn't come from you wanting people to win. Anger comes from you, realizing that person is not going to be, your cash cow. Okay. And so, again, what you do if you want to help that person, you want that person to win, go do everything that you really hoped and prayed that you were going to get done without them. And then at some point in time, they'll come back around and then they'll join you. That's how you help them. Okay. Let's see here. Yes, have the hard conversations. Okay. This is the running's got to stop, guys. When it comes to people who invested with you. Now, I don't answer the phone for people who continually ask me the same question and do nothing about, the situation when I give them the answer. Those are the people I don't answer phone calls for anymore. Okay. But if there's somebody who asking me a question about an investment that they made with me and that person hadn't got any conversations from me, or they're just coming back around or whatever it is, I am going to happily have that conversation. Okay. And it's a lot easier than you think it is. Okay. Most of you guys, you create this movie and this big scene in your head of you having a conversation with somebody about an investment that they made that went wrong, and you see it blowing up. And 9 times out of 10, guys, and it's always 9 times out of 10, it never blows up. Okay. And it's because you did what you were supposed to do and you have the conversation. But that 1 time out of 10, when it does blow up, is because you probably had something to do with it by giving a person misinformation, mismanaging that person's expectations, lying to that individual, misappropriating funds or something of that nature, or there's something wrong with that human being. So I'm just telling you what it is, right? So, Barb, that's what it is. But 9 times out of 10, it's painless. When people, like, I'm at my nephew's birthday party, and I got a house full of investors over there. My sister, my brother-in-law, my cousins, and I'm going through the room. I walk through the door. Hey, cuz, hey, how you doing? Hey, man, how about my investment? Hey, man, let me talk to you about that. I'm waiting on my investment money too. I said, as soon as they tell me something, I'll tell you something. But love you. Get to the kitchen table. Hey, brother, how you doing? Hey, when can we start pulling money out? As soon as they let me know we can pull some money out, sis, I got you. We pull that money out, right? And I had that conversation 3 or 4 times, and then I'm playing dominoes. I'm shooting pool, right? I'm playing tunk for money. We playing for quarters. So you gotta have that conversation, guys. Have the hard conversation. Don't duck and dodge people, right? These are the same people that you were trying to get on the phone. These are the same people that you were, doing follow-up calls with. These are the same people you were texting screenshots to saying, come invest with me. So when they call you, don't go running, right? Stand up like a woman, stand up like a man, have that conversation. Real easy, real simple, real quick. When they do something and we all start getting paid or whatever, I'll let you know. You'll be the first to let you know. I'll let you know. Send you a text message, give you a call or something. But there's nothing that I can do. I'm in the same position you're in. It's okay, right? That's once you do that, guys, you put yourself in a position where now you've gotten it off your chest, you got it off your spirit, you put that person in a position where they understand what's going on, and then what you do now is you take them to the next step. And the next step, guys, is not to put them in a platform that they're going to get 100% of their money back or all their money back. And that can happen, has happened many times, but don't tell a person that. Okay. This is what we're going to do. One, we're going to help you diversify. So in the event that anything ever happens like that again, you won't have all your eggs in one basket. You'll be fully diversified, and we'll have a safety net that'll keep us afloat and keep us profitable overall while we replace the one that went away. So you gotta have that conversation, right? Gotta have that conversation. Get really good at having that hard conversation. Okay. Let's see here. This is one of my things. So when all you have left at your disposal is your truth, stand on it. Okay. When all you have left at your disposal is your truth, stand on it. People respect you more for it. They'll appreciate you more for it. And all you gotta do is tell the truth. All you have to do is tell the truth. Right? Truth is good enough. So let's see. Oh, I will say, like I said earlier, that I did touch base on it. I am excited. I would say we should probably be looking at launching the first platform that we are going to launch within a week. And what I'm doing right now, and this is what you should also be doing, is this: you should be doing the same things that I'm doing. Okay? If you're building, if you're investing, you're just prepping your funds and figuring out what allotment you have for the next investment. But if you are building, you want to build a portfolio, what I'm doing right now, and really is, I'm putting myself in a position where I'm getting my names together. Okay, all of my names together. I'm like all my leaders and all my second tier leaders, and then everybody else that I have on the list that I'm going to invite. I'm getting the program ready when it comes to layout, when it comes to how many days a week we want to present. Just laying out the launch plan, what we're going to be doing calls, what days I'm going to be doing calls on, what type of calls we're going to have, joint calls with 𝐭𝐲𝐬. Let's see here. Talked about getting the resources, but getting my mind right. Guys, you want to make sure that you come into the next one, with your mind right, with your head right, with no baggage. Okay. Learn from the last one. Budget right, but I'm also in the lab with 𝐭𝐲𝐬, like I said, just communicating with him. But certain things that I've been doing to get us ready, and I will keep you guys, in the loop with all of those things real soon. You guys will be hearing from us real soon now, since we pretty much know, almost to a certainty what direction we're going in, and I want to make sure that direction is not leaving SCF. Okay. That's allowing SCF to do what they're supposed to be doing, okay, while we go and do what we need to do, okay? Because a lot of us guys, quite frankly, are looking for mortgage money or looking for car note money. There's a lot of people out there looking for some money because they overpledged, okay? And so, again, I want to make sure that we are doing what we got to do for those people, okay, to make sure that everything is safe, everything is sound. And if we don't have to do anything else, or we choose not to do anything else with SCF, At least we have our nose, we have our money, and whatever little pleasures we have, we let that play out and let that until the company goes and evolves and grow into what it's supposed to grow into. Okay, which is something again we can't control, but we can participate in. Okay, so those are pretty much where I'm at right now, guys, with the things that the conversation today. I just want to make sure today, because I got to get back on some more calls and get back into some more film study and looking at some more white pages and some other things that that I have to look at and put some eyeballs on, and so we can come back and report, to you guys and kind of keep you guys informed. But again, I'm always excited because again, the day brings another challenge, which brings another solution, which gives me an opportunity to continue to increase my financial thermostat. Because when you solve the problems, you're the one that they pay the money to. Okay, so with that, if for the leaders, guys, again, you guys are going to be in contacted once I get some things together. We're going to do a leadership call and make sure we kind of lay everything out to you guys. And so, guys, make sure that you all are staying in communication with your leaders. Make sure that, again, this is a question, guys, that will make you a fortune if you let it. No ego, as my son would like to say, no cap. This is just straight up one amazing question that I've made a flat out fortune off of. A lot of times your mentor is not going to be available, okay? Or coaches may not be available. And this is the question that you always want to ask yourself 100% of the time. I always and forever ask myself this question, and I've always given myself the right answer or something so close to it that it was scary. What would my mentor do at this moment with this specific thing? And what happens is your brain shuts off and it comes back on in the mentality of your and philosophy side and principle-based side of your mentor, your coach. And this is the only way it happens is if you're plugged in. Because everything you're going through or everything you're going to be growing through, we talk about all the time. Everything that when it comes to communicating, when it comes to sales, when it comes to coaching, mentoring, when it comes to recruiting, anything and everything that you guys can go through, you can say, you know what? If you don't have an ego, what would Mr. Bean do right now? If it's some onboarding stuff, what would Mrs. Bean do right now? If it's some system glitch stuff, what would Dr. Marika do right now? If it was some crypto stuff right now, what would Coach Joe or Lakeland do right now? Okay. And so you got to ask yourself, when you've been plugged in the system and you hear these conversations, you hear these calls all the time, right? You're getting these life lessons all the time. You can always go back and say, what would they do in this moment? And because I was plugged in, I always had the right answer or almost the right answer. So I always went to my leader and say, hey, look, don't need but a second, but this is the challenge I'm having. And this is one of the resolutions I came up with. Is this something that you would do? Oh, yeah, I would do that. Definitely do that. Okay. Or, you know what, I'd do that, but this is how I would do it. Okay. And so anytime you don't have the exact answer, anytime you want to make sure you fact check, it's something that's in the neighborhood, fact check it. If it's something that we would do 100% of the time without question, and you know it because you've learned it, follow your mind. All right. Follow your first mind. Okay. So if you guys need anything, y'all know where to find us. And as always, we love you guys and continue to plug in. Continue to go out here and get on those calls. Continue to go out there and be on Crash Camp on Saturdays. I don't care if it's on Facebook, but just continue to keep yourself, together, because, there's no, real wealth without good health. Lakeland says that all the time. And so, again, that's why I'm in that spirit. I'm in that frame of mind. I'm working out, doing my thing because it makes me better as a leader, but it also gives me a space that I operate on in a high level, and I always operate on a high level when I fast, work out, and I'm focused on you guys and what I need to do for you guys. So love you guys. Like I said, see you guys at the top, see you guys at the bank, see you guys at the beach, and definitely see you guys back here next week, same time, same line, more people. All right. Good night, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Recordings.